Time now for Sit 6-0. This is where I get 60 seconds to talk about anything I want. Start the clock, please. Here's what's on my mind this morning. The Toronto Blue Jays are not making the playoffs this season. We know this. How, you may ask? Well, this week was all you needed to see. If you'll remember, this past weekend, outfielder George Springer got hurt, sprained ankle. After further testing, it was revealed he's also got a sprained knee, listed as week to week. There's not many weeks left in the season. So the question became, how would the Jays react without their unquestioned leader? The answer, not good. They got embarrassed in Washington this week, losing both games to a team that traded basically all of their best players before the deadline. And on top of that, Washington had lost 12 of 13 going into the series. This was a layup for the Jays. Layup! And without Springer, they had very little fight. Didn't help that Toronto's bullpen is about as reliable as a campaign promise right now. Can't trust them. Bad week for the Jays. It revealed a lot. Better luck next year. Ben Nicholson-Smith of Sportsnet is a credible journalist, so I don't expect him to have a take like that. But Benny, you have to admit, I mean, you're seeing the same timeline I'm seeing on social media. Jays fans are in a bit of a mood after those two games in Washington this week. I think we can both agree on that.
Oh, 100%. And understandably so, right? Those were games they needed to win. And even the Mariners series, they needed to do better there. So you're right, Sid. It's not looking great. I mean, they have a chance, but it's not looking great.
So who takes the blame for this week specifically? Look, I know it's 2 games out of 162, but those were soul-crushing. And Charlie Montoyo is on the hottest seat I've seen yet because of the way he's handled that bullpen. Now, you and I know one of the oldest refrains in baseball is when it comes to bullpen, that's a manager thing. I don't care what team you're looking at. I don't care what era. How you manage your relievers is usually reflective of the guy running the team. Should we give Montoyo a bit more of a pass here, or is the criticism warranted?
I think if the Blue Jays were sitting there with some ace in the hole and they just weren't using him, then Montoyo is going to Brad Hand. What are you doing? You know, you have to go to that ace reliever. But in this case, they really don't have that guy or those guys who are just these elite relievers who are ready. They thought that maybe a Kirby Yates or a Julian Merriweather, even a Nate Pearson could be that guy. Those guys are all hurt. So at this point, Montoyo is working with what he has, and what he has just isn't enough. So we're seeing these losses pile up.
All right, so they're 4.5 game of the last wild card spot. There's some time here left. We don't know about Springer. I'm not going to play the Springer game because we've done that for most of the season. Is George Springer okay? Is George Springer okay? I'm not interested. He'll come back when he comes back. Give me a positive, Ben. Give me a positive. You always look at both sides of it, unlike myself. Is the schedule the biggest positive coming up? Because some bad teams are rolling through very soon.
Starting tonight with the Tigers. Yeah. I mean, that is a big positive for this team. I still think it's a good team. Like, they have put themselves in a bad position because of this last week. But to me, this is still a good baseball team. They still have Vlad Jr. and an incredible offense. They still have Alek Manoah and Hyunjin Ryu and a great pitching staff for the rotation. The bullpen's a problem, but they have a very good rotation, a great offense. They're going to win more games than they lose. The question is, have they dug themselves too big a hole? And the odds would agree with you, Sid. The playoff odds would say the Jays hovering around 18% right now. Not great, but still with a chance to make things interesting.
I mean, what are they going to play, 600 ball, 700 baseball from this point on? It's not impossible, but yeah, it's basically that. Like, it's. Listen, I wish him luck. I love that team. I love a lot of guys on the team. The math isn't working out right now. Ben Nicholson-Smith, his math is always on point of Sportsnet. Beautiful job, Benny. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the games. We'll talk soon.
You too. Thanks, Sid.
Take care. He is fantastic. Coming up on You Sound Off for a second straight year, no CNE. It is what it is. We've been missing a lot lately, but the CNE usually kind of stings a little bit. So let's reminisce, shall we? On You Sound Off, what are your favorite CNE memories? Hopefully next year it returns. 1-866-267-3797. Feedback at breakfasttelevision.ca and Twitter 24/7. We read all the tweets. Believe me, let us know. It's 6:44, Toronto. Hoo-ha. It's Friday. You're watching BT.